don't buy Bud Light when they're endorsing a fucking complete and total fucked up Marxist ideology. It's like the new demigod. It's a new religion.
It's very strange. I
Yeah.
just don't get it. Very
Right.
strange.
It's like don't support it in any way, shape, or form. You got to fight it everywhere it is. That's where I would say with that. Like,
and what I would say to reiterate what you're saying is that it's not about people on the right; it's about people in the right. You got to be in the right on the right side of the coin here, right? And I don't care. It's across political alleys at this point. Like if you're a Democrat or someone that's on the left, a progressive, hell, if you're a communist, and I hate communists, but if you're a communist, I want the best for you, right? I want you to have a happy and loving family. I want you to be able to be prosperous in this country, and I want you to feel safe in this country. Even if I think that all of your political beliefs and ideology are dog shit Jones, it doesn't mean that I want bad or ill for you. But what we do see on the left a lot of times is these people, especially when stuff happens, you see it all over Twitter. Just the
they revere it. They revel in it.
They're just like, oh, I want to see the pain. I want to see you bleed. I want to see more pain. And it's just like, you people have never dealt with that, a lot of you. You know what I'm saying? We can't accept that as normal in our culture. When we see children being used as ideological pawns in games, sometimes that are just being held between the mother and the father, because I've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Where the mother wants to transition somebody and they're in a divorce and they're like, no. And then the kid becomes a pawn in their weird game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in the end, how does the kid benefit besides either getting shredded to pieces by the entanglement of their parents, or getting mutilated by the mother, and possibly disowned by the father? It just, the Pandora's box of problems that it opens up when we start doing these things is wrong. So if you're on the right, or in the right rather, you should say that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with I'm a Trump supporter or I'm on the right politically. It's just in the right with society. You should say this isn't fair. It's not fair to the kid. It's not fair to these two people who are in a point in life where they hate each other and they don't know how to figure it out.
Right. Well, this whole hippy dippy idea of anything goes and there is no wrong, and this whole like this
it's all subjective.
Yeah, this great existential experiment.
Right.
First of all, was already done. It already happened in the 60s. It failed miserably. And here we are again on repeat, living it again. And it's going to fail because a society cannot function under these parameters, because there are no parameters. The lines of reality are just gone. Anything goes, and you can't have a functioning society where anything goes. It just doesn't work.
And the thing that
never will.
What the thing that drives me nuts is, dude, this is where I get into it with people. I'm not a huge biblical scholar or anything, and it's not just in the Bible, but you can look through all these ancient stories that point to exactly what's going on now in the same light then. Right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah, all that stuff, yeah. Those are all in the Bible.
Absolute mayhem. The Roman Empire, the Greeks, the Macedonians. I mean, it just goes on and on. The Persians, all great nations fall to this kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's because it becomes debauchery, becomes the worship. Right? And everybody does everything for simple pleasure. Sure. Nobody's doing anything for principle anymore. It's just all simple pleasure, and it doesn't matter. It's just
secularism. It's all me.
Yeah, it's even, I dare say it's even a step beyond that into something I'm not quite sure how to, you know what I mean? Like
I don't know, there's a word in the English language to fully describe what we're dealing with. Yeah.
Right. Because
I felt that way before.
It's so bizarre. And the reason that makes it so bizarre is never in history of man that we're aware of have we had these instant communications with other like-minded people. So if you run into a person that's just as fucking wacky and bizarre as you are, they group up.
Yeah.
And because of the technology that we live in,
they don't have to physically group up. They can group up in cyberspace and congregate worldwide.
That's right. And then they sit there and they give themselves these affirmations where normal people are not in those groups. And normal people who are telling these people, stop doing this. You're really hurting yourself. You're ruining your chances of other things that come down the path in life and blah, 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 blah. And nobody's listening because as soon as you're done talking, they go into these groups of these other like-minded people and like, don't listen to them. Take more hormones. You're
Right.
just not happy because your boobs haven't grown enough.
Right.
Whatever the fuck that means. Get a glimpse of some of these. I've seen excerpts from some of this stuff, and it's fucking disturbing, man. I mean, it really is. It's just like it's adults who are manipulating young people to do things to themselves, to their bodies, what I believe to be for a sexual fetish.
Oh,
With
certainly.
the hopes of meeting these young people sometime and being like,
Oh
well,
yeah. No, I
you know,
agree. I've seen that too. I know exactly what you mean. It's really terrible. It's really, really, really terrible. And we as a society, if we don't want to fall, need to take a stand, as I said before. We need to take a stand against it in every avenue.
right.
And the problem is that the people have the memory of a fucking goldfish. I mean, for example, January 6th and Trump's an insurrectionist and all that bullshit, and
Right.
he wasn't going to give up the election, and he like election denial and whatever the words are using. And I'm like, you idiots, do you not remember in 2016 Hillary Clinton got drunk on a bottle of vodka and everyone was screaming Russian collusion and the
Yeah.
election was rigged? And when George W. Bush won, everyone was saying that election was rigged. He didn't win that election. Eh, for the last 50 years or more, everybody that gets elected president, the other side is saying that it was election fraud.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck are you talking about? And the problem is, the problem, like I said, is they have the memory of a fucking goldfish, and they're just complete hypocrites. It's like everyone's saying it, but this time is the time that's the worst that ever fucking happened because it's fucking Trump saying it. It's like, shut the fuck up. The reason why I was laughing is I was thinking about this asshole. He says to me, he goes, "So you like to support a fucking traitor, insurrectionist, traitor, this, that, and the normal Trump rhetoric bullshit." And I
Sure.
look at him and I go, "Yep, that's my guy." And he's like, "Well, at least you're honest about it." And I just chuckled at him. I go, "You're a fucking idiot." And he says, "What'd you say?" I go, "I called you a fucking idiot," like that much louder. Like, the dude didn't know what to do. He was just like, "I can't believe this guy's talking to me like this." I'm like, "Well, what the fuck do you expect? You come up to a stranger and start telling him about, you know what I'm saying?" It's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You're lucky I don't smash you in the mouth. Like, what the hell are you thinking coming over here telling me that shit? Fuck off. Who
Dude,
asked your fucking opinion?
these fucking
Relax."
young people are so overconfidently cocky, and it's just like, dude, it's called stupid confidence is what it
Yeah.
is. And you have confidence in what you think you know because you're stupid.
Well, that's the point I'm at with it though, is I just agreed with him. Yep, that's exactly what I am. That's what I like. That's
Yeah.
who I like. And then he was like, "Well, at least you're honest about it." And then I called him a fucking idiot twice. He didn't know how to respond to that. And I'm like, where in the past 5, 6 years ago, I probably would have said, "Well, no, actually," and said exactly what I just said a minute ago about, well, when Hillary Clinton got elected, she said the exact same thing, and we didn't call that like an insurrection. We didn't call that.
Well, she didn't have anybody gather up. Yeah, because she
Yeah,
couldn't, dude. There was no fucking Hillary Clinton fans that gave a fuck enough to gather up. Fuck.
yeah. Well, let's not forget the pussy hats, and let's not forget.
Oh my God. Let's not forget the people that went there, the women's march, and they marched for everything. And then I remember posting the pictures from the next day. The fucking streets, these
Oh, the
women
litter.
destroyed Washington, D.C.
Yep, the litter.
The litter was, I mean, I think they said something like they pulled like 30 tons of trash out of there. 30 tons. That's 60,000 pounds of trash.
Yep. Let's not
It's
forget the
nuts.
pussy hats. So that's what I'm saying, though, the insurrection. And then they take little sound bites of Trump when he said, "Let's peacefully go there and show them what we think." And then they take that out, and "Come on, let's go, everybody, kill the," you know what I mean? Like they just take little sound bites, and it's so whatever you think about Trump, which
Yeah.
I love the guy, but
Yeah.
whatever you think about him, the man really ripped the mask off of the media and it
Oh,
exposed it for what it is.
yes.
Like really showed the seedy underbelly of like politicians and the media and these corporations and how the country's really being run and who's running it.
Yeah.
Because
No,
he wasn't in the club and they don't like him. They don't like him one bit.
well, yeah, because they thought he was an ally and a money donator and all this other shit.
Yeah, they loved him when he was donating to their campaigns and being part of the super PAC and all that bullshit. They loved him then. And then the
Yeah.
second he wanted to get, they like, no, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and show you how to do it. now all of a sudden he's public enemy number one. I mean, these people, they're so brainwashed that they'll do this at any means necessary because they think they're literally stopping Hitler from becoming president of the United States. That's their justification in their minds. It's like you have lost all sense. All sense has left your body. Like you don't know what you're talking about.
It's crazy. People are fucking nuts, though.
Especially in my opinion, he's probably one of the more moderate presidents we've had in my lifetime.
I will say right now, without even any fucking hesitation whatsoever, Donald Trump is demonstrably, just on the numbers alone, the best president in modern history.
Mm-hmm.
If you just look at the numbers alone and how he shifted, it's incredible. And anybody and everybody that says different are people who have voiced their opinions on how they would have done it and were fucking wrong. So I don't want to hear anything from them. Like Obama says, "Well, I don't know what there is nothing better than him saying, I don't know what magic wand Donald Trump thinks he's going to wave to make the GDP grow at faster than 2.8%. We were growing at 4.3, 4.7.
How about
He doesn't know what he's talking about, and fucking Trump made that happen.
Yeah, and back to what I was saying, and as far as history, he's probably what I mean by moderate president is like it was probably
Not so much to the extreme either way.
Yeah, like the truth is he says a lot of crazy stuff, but he really doesn't do that crazy stuff. He's just a very boisterous guy. He's very like hyperbolic in his speaking and the way he talks about things. But he's smart and he knows how to get things done. And it's like we were relative. He didn't go to war with anybody the whole time he was president. There was no war. There was no
Absolutely no, there was nothing.
Yeah, exactly. There was no.
I mean, he bombed a couple places and did some stuff, but it had to be done.
Yeah, but we weren't putting boots on the ground, mass boots on the ground. I mean, that in my
They
life,
were lying,
one
by
of
the
the
way.
very few presidents that's ever had that under his belt. I mean,
Right. They did put troops on the ground, but it was because they were lying to him and not telling him that they were doing it. That really happened.
but not at his orders.
No, he was absolutely furious about it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean. And it's, I don't understand. I don't understand. I guess I don't have to understand. It doesn't matter because
It just goes to show you that you can do peace through power without having to threaten to bomb everybody. Like everything that they say about Russia is just so hyperbolic. Like, oh, Russia's fucking gonna nuke Europe. If they wanted to march across Europe, don't you think they'd be marching across Europe?
Yeah, right now.
I mean, I don't think they would be waiting to take Ukraine first and then start marching across Europe.
Like,
and if Ukraine is
we got Mr. Potato Heads at the helm right now, like,
yeah,
and do about it.
Ukraine's such a fucking powerhouse, such a bad boy on the block. How come they haven't been able to do anything? Nothing. They've been getting absolutely fucking. They're just getting slaughtered by the handfuls, and people are like, the Russians have lost so many troops. Blah blah. Blah. Apparently, I saw an article this morning that said that they were back up to full fucking Monty. Yeah. So they couldn't have been losing hundreds of thousands.
Well, I'll tell you what Ukraine's doing is taking our money hand over fist is what they're doing.
Oh yeah, and they're giving it to the people at the top.
Right.
Because if Candace Owens went to she was in England for something. I'm trying to think about how long ago. Well over a year ago. Well over a year, maybe 2. And she said that she had a friend who had just come back from Austria. And, you know, a lot of the Russians that had homes in Austria had been basically asked to leave because of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And that there was all these Ukrainians coming in there and buying these huge houses, driving these really nice cars.
Yeah, I wonder where that money's coming from.
It's coming from you and me and fucking everybody else.
Dude.
It's ridiculous, dude. There's nothing that shows anywhere where any of the accounting of that money has gone to.
Kind of like BLM. All the money that was donated to them.
Yeah, well, that eventually came out. This will never come out.
Yeah, this is We're watching corruption at its highest order in real time.
You bet your fucking ass we are.
And I feel helpless about it.
Well,
to go to the polls. That's really the only thing. That's the only power I have, and who knows how effective that's going to be? Because you know damn good and well in the next month or two, I would be shocked if Gavin Newsom doesn't step up into the breach. And
somebody will.
Yeah, and they pull Biden out of there.
I don't think it'll be Michelle Obama like they all keep saying.
I think it'll be a Gavin Newsom and a Michelle Obama as vice president. What I think they'll try to do.
It's never going to happen in a million years.